everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Crazy Bookish Asians. We are episode 20. And like I said, welcome to our 20th episode. So today I am hosting this episode, which means it's my turn to pick the book that we're going to discuss today. But before we get to that, so I guess we'll do some introductions. So I guess I'll just start with whoever did it the last hosted. It was Emmy. So over to you, Emmy.
Hi, I'm Emmy from Toronto. Okay, that's it.
Okay, who's next?
What are we
Oh,
supposed to say in
Lisa.
these intros, right?
I know. Okay.
It seems to change every time.
I know it's like our 20th episode. We're like, Reese, I don't know what to say for the intros.
So see, if you guys are tuning in, like you guys are not getting the same introduction, so it's all different. Okay, Lady, you go next.
Oh, hi, I'm Lainey, one of the crazy bookish Asians. I'm also from Toronto.
And last but not least is Lisa.
And I'm Lisa. I'm also from Toronto and part of the Crazy Bookish Asians.
All right, so that's us. But I guess before I start talking about the book, just a bit of housekeeping. So we do talk about, well, not a whole lot of housekeeping, but we do talk about like spoilers. So just so you know, so if you haven't read the book and you're curious, and you don't want to find out if you're that kind of reader who doesn't want to hear any review or don't want to have any plot revealed, then maybe wait till you read the book first. But otherwise, we shall get started. I think that's it, right? Do we need any more intro, who we are and everything? No, I think we've done that already. So, anyways,
Oh, like
okay.
we're four sisters. Did we say that? That we're four.
Oh
We're
yeah,
all
yes,
related. We're all related.
by either by blood or by marriage. We can never
Marriage.
keep up. See, there you go. All we know, Lisa is the one like related by marriage. So, and the rest of us are by blood. There you go. So, okay. So, like I said earlier, this is my turn to pick. This is a new to me author. She's not a new author, but new to me. I've been meaning to read her books a long time ago. I actually have some of her backlist, and this is probably one of her newer ones. So the author's like is Kennedy Ryan, and the book is Before I Let Go. I have to say, maybe it's just me. I said it the last time in our episode, but I love, love, love this cover. I don't know why. Something about it just really speaks to me. And like I said, I've been meaning to read her book. So I found people who can read with me, whether they like it or not. I dragged them into this ride. So I think Before I Let Go is a new series by Ken. Not a new series, but one of the newer series by Kennedy Ryan. So this one focuses on Yasmin and Josiah. So they are. So what happens is they're actually a divorced couple. So because of some tragedy in the family, they ended up divorcing, and 2 years later, that's where kind of the story starts, I think. So then it's about them finding their way back to each other. Second chance romance is like one of my catnips. I don't know if like Emmy or Lisa feels the same way. But yeah, so that's what the story is about. So it's about them finding their way back to each other, and how they navigate their way back given the history, the family history and their relationship, and having to deal with what they've gone through. So without further ado, we will start talking about how we feel about about this book, and it's seeing that it was Emmy who did the last episode, so she'll be the first to go this time. So over to you, Emmy.
All
Ooh,
right.
the glasses come.
I
The
know.
glasses come.
No, no,
The
no.
glasses came
You
on.
just-
Oh no.
Business.
No, that's because I'm old. So I need to see what I'm,
Yeah, but
what
I'm
I'm
older
reading.
than you.
Oh,
So I
you
do
guys
want
all
to
have
say,
your glasses.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Sorry, God.
Yes.
But yeah, I forgot to include as part of housekeeping. If you guys are an older viewer of ours, you might notice that, we do talk over each other sometimes, especially at the end in the discussion. But that's also because sometimes the sync of the videos, the way it's uploaded is, it's a bit off, maybe a few seconds. So we
Yeah.
don't really not listen to each other. I do just want to say that, just in case you wonder, oh my God, this four, they don't listen to each other. They're always talking over each other. So I just want to say,
Yeah, the
anyways,
last
Excuse
No,
me,
episode.
right?
ex- excuse me, I don't listen to any of you.
yeah.
Just you up there.
See, this was just a perfect example 2 seconds ago, right?
Should we
We just get so excited sometimes.
should we raise
Yes,
our hand?
me.
Okay, just
I
a
know.
heads up though. The last episode was a little bit more chaotic than normal because we were having technical difficulties.
Technical.
So
Technical.
technical. It was actually way more than usual. So
We
hopefully
do
this
listen.
will
Yeah.
calm things
Yeah,
We
we do
do,
listen. We
and
do. We listen.
we always promise to each other we'll do less talk of each other. But do you think we listen? No, sorry. So that's just us, I guess. So love it
we're
or hate it. I
sisters.
hope you love
So
it.
Well,
or hate
the
it.
the beginning of the video is supposed to be when we talk individually, and at the end, that's when we discuss. But it doesn't always work out like that. So we will try. Anyways,
Keyword.
try. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
On that note, okay, so I'll just start off. This is actually first time I'm reading this kind of romance, the second chance. I think, yeah. And also my first Kennedy Ryan book. So yeah, so go starting off with that. I have to admit, even though this book is very angsty for me, I actually did enjoy reading it. So I don't have a lot of cons, so I guess I'm just gonna talk about the pros, and then maybe while I'm talking about it, then I'll discuss the cons afterwards. But first of all, I really love the protagonist in this book, Yasmin. Is that how you say Yasmin or
I
Yasmin?
think I think
Yes,
so.
man.
I
I think
pronounced
so,
Yasmin in
yeah.
my head. Yeah, I
Yasmin.
know.
Yeah, I pronounce it as Yasmin, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Or Yasmin or yeah.
I know, yeah, because I was like, is it Yasmin or Yasmin? But anyways, sorry, Miss Kennedy Ryan, if we're saying it wrong. But yeah, I really loved her character. One of the first times that I've actually read a romance where I didn't really find anything wrong with her at all. Like I loved everything that she did, every decision that she made, and that might be controversial for some people who's read this book. Because I know there were some parts that maybe you're like, oh, maybe you wouldn't have agreed to what she did, but to me, everything she did made sense, and that's the test. Like I think a testament to how well Kennedy Ryan writes. I'm reading this and I'm like, she should be big in terms of okay, not to hate on Colleen Hoover, because I know that's so easy to do, right? But I'm like, how are these writers not as big when they should be? Like, I swear, this book,
Mm-hmm.
like the way it's written, I could picture every scene. It's literally like, to me, it's like a movie. It's literally like a movie in my mind while I was reading this, and that's how I really enjoyed it. Like, okay, so first of all, yeah, like I said, Yasmin is great, and even though it is a lot more angsty than I would like, totally okay because I love her that much. But on that note, I actually didn't like Josiah that much. So I know. Like I think I'm gonna talk about it later. I do have an actor in my head when I was reading this book, which I think kind of made me um not like, but I was okay with it. Otherwise, I just he was okay, but he was not my favorite, honestly, just because um especially in the end, like, we did say there's spoilers in this book. So in the end, when Yasmin was apologizing to him, and then and I know with his background, right, the way he was like that, it's because of what he went through as a child. He became an orphan at such an early age, and after so many tragedies, he has a hard time expressing how he feels. So he ended up going to a therapist who ended up helping him out a bit in making decisions, stuff like that. But I just thought that ending, not ending, but yeah, before the final ending, when Yasmin basically laid out her heart and then he just walked away. Like I just didn't like that, and also the fact that I this is like really stupid because they were divorced for 2 years, but the fact that the book included him sleeping with his current girlfriend, which is I know is stupid because they've been separated. Yasmin and Josiah has been separated for 2 years. I know it makes sense for him to
Divorced.
divorce for him to move on. But I just didn't like that part too much, I guess. But I but in the end, I mean, it's not like I hated him. I just didn't like him as much as I did Yasmin. So that's like one minor con. And also, what else? Oh, well, because of the writing was really well done. There were actually several scenes that actually made me cry, like legit, like I had tears in my eyes. The first one when it was a flashback of Yasmin dealing with the loss of the baby, and again, spoiler, that's actually the big reason why they ended up divorcing, was because Yasmin went through depression. Oh my god, I get teary eyed just actually thinking about it. What caused the divorce? Like not only losing Josiah's aunt, who was a big part of their life, but she also lost their third baby, and then she went through depression. And I swear to God, like, just even thinking about it now, that scene when she was sitting in the baby's room rocking in the chair, it just got to me so much. Like, as a mother, I mean, even if you're not a mother, I think we can all agree as women how you just kind of deal with that loss. Like, I can't even imagine it, and in a way, when my dad passed away, and then oh my god, sorry, when our dad passed away.
Breathe, Emmy.
Sorry, I know.
It's okay. Take your time.
Yeah, take your
No,
time.
it is actually it did touch on a lot of touchy subjects, I think, this book. And
Yeah, like I know there was like,
yeah,
there were like trigger warnings, and
yeah,
now I get it, right? Like when she was talking
yeah,
about grief,
yeah,
it just reminded me of
yeah,
when we lost our dad, and what my mom probably had to go through. When,
right,
and I know it's not, that's, just losing someone that close to you, and the way she had to give birth to a stillborn baby. Oh, it
yeah,
was, it was too much. It was too much. It just brought like, like feelings. Oh my gosh, sorry.
yeah. Don't
And
ever, no, Emmy,
No,
don't
that's
okay.
okay.
ever.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad. I'm
yeah,
glad we're
yeah.
And
talking
also,
about this. Is the good
when
thing about the book club.
It
yeah, and
is
a romance book
exactly,
too,
yes,
like, what I mean, like, it's people, a lot of people, when they talk about romance, it's like, oh, it's like fluff, blah blah blah. No, it's not. Like, especially if you find a good romance that really deals with like human issues, not just like stupid, like, oh, does he love me, does he, la la la. And
yeah.
also that part when Yasmin was talking about to Deidre, the friend who also lost a baby. I'm just gonna
Mm.
read a part of it because that part I actually really love, and it is on 20% in, actually. Grief is a grind. It is a work of breathing and waking. Okay, maybe I won't read it then.
That's okay. But
Mm.
and
That's okay. If you can read
interestingly
it
enough,
later, we can read it
yeah,
later. Yeah,
and
if you can't read it
interestingly
now.
enough, even that scene, right? It was such a small scene with Deidre because I was thinking, where's this going and everything. But even that tiny scene, the way she wrote it, and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
It
was
it
really,
it stood out in my head because I thought she was just gonna be this like I'm sorry to say, I thought she was gonna be this white woman who is like
yeah.
completely tone deaf and everything.
Who's
But
like
then when she
annoying,
went,
right? You would think, oh, it's like annoying minor character. Yeah,
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 right. But then when she went there, when she talked about her loss, and I'm like, oh, like this is like, I think sometimes you're right. You forget that like sometimes like this is just how humans deal with things, right? So
yeah. I
in
agree.
real life, like that it
Yeah,
even the mundane things like that will stands out sometimes, right? So yeah,
really. Yeah, that part, and just the way. Yeah, the whole part about her, like the depression part when she was talking about that, like I thought it was just really, it was really just, it was really accurate. And you can tell she did her research, or just maybe from her own experience, right? So yeah, it, like this book, like, oh my gosh, when I was talking to Lainey last weekend, I actually was sick, right? So I ended up just reading the book that entire day because I couldn't go anywhere. I wasn't feeling well. And I was like, by the end of it, I was like, holy crap. Like, oh my gosh, it was really, it was a journey, definitely. So like I said, the writing really well done. Also, just another minor con. I didn't like the daughter, the oldest daughter. What's her name?
Deja.
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 Yeah, yeah. And although
Yeah,
yeah.
Deja.
again, it's
Deja.
minor because you actually understand where she was also coming from, but she was just annoying the out of me the whole time because I was like she was there with the with her brother. She saw how the whole thing fell apart, and I like for me, I thought she was of age that she would have been able to realize what her mom was going through. But I get it. She was only like what, like 13, 12, 13. So I get it. She's really young that she had to mature really fast. But just just as a character, I didn't like her that much. But the friends, I loved them so much. Like Yasmin's friends, I thought they were all like the two of them
Hendrix and
who are the other
Soledad, I
I
think.
think they're the other
Yeah,
books,
yeah,
right? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
books.
yeah.
So I thought especially the one who works for PR, Soledad, is that no.
Hendrix.
Hendrix.
No, no,
Oh,
Hendrix.
Hendrix.
she was so good.
Hendrix,
She
yeah.
was so good. Like
Yes.
all their scenes, like actually like I said, I could picture this whole book as a movie, and I hope it does turn into a movie because or like even like a TV movie. Yeah,
A
like
Netflix film or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, and also
yeah.
another minor con. I thought there was like a lot of, especially by the end, there was like a lot of inner monologue that I could have probably not, probably skip. But I get it. Like that's also minor. So otherwise, I enjoyed the book, and that's it. I didn't think I'd get so emotional
Yay!
talking about it, but so I'm sorry.
No, all good, all
No,
good. No, all
no,
good.
yeah. That is like music to my ears.
Oh, okay.
I was like, she's crying over the book I chose.
Oh my god, on Saturday I was like I had a box of Kleenex
Yeah,
beside me. So I was like, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
great.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Well,
thank you.
thank you, Emmy. So, who wants to go next?
Lisa, up to you. Lisa or me?
Okay,
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
okay, I
Lisa,
can.
you go. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
So I finished this book last week. I actually like plowed through it. I didn't think I would because like Emmy, it's a bit too angsty for me, but I enjoyed the book. I really, really actually enjoyed the book. Um, I had like just a couple of cons similar to Emmy's cons actually. I didn't like Josiah as much as I didn't like him in that scene where the same one as Emmy, where she laid herself out and he just looked at her, got up, and he left. I was like, what the hell, right? So I understand he needed to process it, but I was like, really? You've known this woman for so long and she's laid her heart out and all you can do is get up and leave? Like, hello, right? So I thought that was like a bit, it was very abrupt, right? So I did not like that. And I also did not like her daughter because I just didn't enjoy the character because it was just like, kid, I understand that she's young, right? But if you can be sympathetic to your father, can you not be sympathetic to your mother as well? Can you not understand that she's gone through the same thing as your father, but even worse because she had to give birth to a child that is, no longer living, right? So I did not like the daughter at all, not even at the end. Like she had nothing redeeming for me. Like, honestly, she didn't, right? Yeah, the daughter, no. I just did not enjoy that character at all. I just thought she was so unsympathetic. It's like your mother's gone through this traumatic event, and all you can think about is the fact that she, you know, um, s- yes, she did sort of destroy your family, right? But not in that such dramatic way, right? She did something for her own mental health to, for her sanity. That's the reason why she did it, right? She felt that that was the only way that they could move forward and, um, heal themselves, right? So yeah, I really like Yasmin, and I liked her friend group. So I really can't wait to read Soledad's books. I've already kind of like I'm gonna start reading that, but I was surprised I really enjoyed it because normally I don't enjoy books that are like more on the angsty side. The only other negative was the constant description of how sexy Josiah was. I was like, really? Do I care? Right? And then
Yes, you
also
should.
no, not really. And then Josiah's description of Yasmin's like, okay, are her boobs like this big or like what he just keeps describing them, right? I was like, okay, I don't know if I need to have this constant physical description of these two characters, but I get it. They love each other. They're attracted to each other. They're attractive people. I understand that, right? So that was my only other like minor negative. But I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the story. Like I was like, I'd be at work at home and I'd be reading it when I should be working, right?
Oh my
So,
God.
No,
so that was
Lisa.
like, oh, I know if anybody at work sees this, it was during my break. So yeah, so it was like,
I did that
so
too. I was in some kind of training and I was half listening and I was kind of like reading.
so yeah, I was like Emmy, like whereas like I finally like just plowed through it on a Friday night, like into a sat, and I basically finished it on like the Saturday. Yeah. So yeah, it was yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good book. It's very emotional, and I can understand the trigger warnings in the beginning. So
Yeah.
it was more than I thought. It was more than a romance. It was like it was really well written. It was very well written, and you could tell that the author did her research because she wrote about mental health in a very realistic, honest way. So yeah, so yeah, I enjoyed the book.
Woohoo.
Yay.
I do agree, Lisa, because I think it's, but I think that's the beauty with romance, right? Because some people did say this is this really romance, but that's what it is. Like, with
No, it
romance,
was. I
sometimes,
think it was.
right? Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
romance. That that
It just
had a
has
bit of
really,
drama in it, right? But it
yeah,
was a
it has a lot
romance.
of layer. I agree.
Just because it wasn't fluffy doesn't mean it's not romance, right?
I
Romance
agree.
doesn't
I
always
agree.
have to be fluffy, right? It can
Ex-
be meaningful. This is a book that was meaningful, right? So
exactly. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. Awesome. Lainey, over to you.
All right. I actually thought I read a book from her, but it was another author. So I was
Oh, it
mistaken.
was my first. Actually, it was my first book with her too. Yeah, I just wanted to
Oh,
say
Yeah,
that.
see?
okay.
That's the
Okay.
first book I've ever written of her.
Was it another Kennedy or another Ryan by any chance?
No, I was thinking of I think JJ McAvoy. I think JJ McAvoy. I think she was the one I was
Oh
thinking.
yeah, JJ McAvoy.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was like,
yes,
oh, I'm like, oh,
yes.
I read a book from him. Like, and then after I was like, I don't think the writing's the same. I'm like,
No.
oh, it's a different writer.
Oh yeah, there are two totally different writing styles. Like
I know. That's what I was like.
JJ and
The
yeah.
writing doesn't seem familiar. The writing. But okay, I also love this book. Like, it was a winner for me. I mean, I like angst, but I felt like this was like realistic angst. Like, the topic is serious, heavy, and okay. I know a friend. I mean, miscarriages are hard,
Hmm.
but I actually know a friend who gave birth to stillbirth at the final second. Like, that's like honestly, I can't. It gives me like weird shivers because yeah, it's a different level, right? Of like it's miscarriage, but when there was no like inkling that there's something wrong with the baby until she gave birth. So I felt like the pain, and it was understandable why, not just as women, yeah, like that's something I think it changes families for sure. And so yeah, I have notes about it. So that alone for me is like I already felt like it was so realistic the way she kind of went off the deep end. And then with the bird, who's the ant
Yes.
bird?
And
And bird, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
ant
and
bird.
bird. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I see,
Yeah.
and I think the way that okay, spoiler, the way it happened, it was accidental, right? Because she had an accident. Isn't that's how
She
she lost the
fell. She
baby?
fell on her stomach.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
fell
Yes.
on her stomach. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it was like literally like not. It was like such a fluky. I mean,
Fluke.
that
Yeah.
alone, like it was like heartbreaking. But I not a lot of cons for me either, but pros. The cover page did set the tone. Like it was beautiful, but it was like classy too. I felt like the writing was that as well.
And that title it's really beautiful as well. I thought like
I
Yeah.
Arthipelago.
know.
It
And
was a great
I
title.
hope she keeps I hope she has the rights. I hope she has the perpetual rights to this title because sometimes they're time limited, so then they have to
Oh.
pick another cover.
Oh,
I
okay.
yeah, so
Well,
I
I
know
yeah,
didn't.
they do.
I love
Yeah,
this
authors
cover,
tend to
right?
change their
Oh,
covers if they don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I thought it was a beautifully written book.
Yep.
again, I think we all felt the same. Like, I think we all have the same. Like, we all felt like all the characters were
I think
likable. The
so.
friends for sure. I like that they definitely added, like, the comedy. I mean, I feel like it would have been too heavy
Yeah.
without. You need the break,
Yeah.
otherwise it would
Comic
just so
relief.
heavy.
Comic
Right.
relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
the language is
Yeah.
like, "Hey, girl," like, I can see like Hendrix, like even Hendrix joke about like
That's you.
about.
That's you.
I feel like I was Hendrix. I actually felt like I related a lot to Hendrix.
Just a shorter version.
She's like, she's like, "Oh, girl, no."
You're like you're the Filipino version of Hendrix.
She's like, "Oh, they do the plus sizes." She's like, "Oh, I guess you skinny girls." It's like, I felt like I was Hendrix. There's even one when she was talked about meeting guys at church. She's like, "Hallelujah."
Oh, yeah.
I should have saved that. Then she said a line. I was like crackling. But
Yeah.
I knew I liked this book when literally I slept. I was reading it before I slept, and I wake up. I was like, I have to continue it. Like, I mean, literally, I slept and I woke up and I would just open up the book again. Like, that's I know how much
Mm.
if I like a book a lot. Even okay, so I've never been to therapy, but I felt like they dealt like even the doctor, like the way with the therapist. I think she did do a lot of research 'cause even the advice they gave to her were like very like I felt like realistic and very they were like it felt like a therapist was talking when during the
Mhm.
visits and stuff. So for me that felt really realistic, the stuff that they had to go through. um I like, okay, don't worry, Elle, I like Josiah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like, no, I mean, I kind of
I
understand where he's
didn't hate
coming
him. I didn't hate
no,
him. I
but
just
it's my
yeah.
thing is like I feel like in a way he did not want to give it, like, you know what I mean, he was gonna take her in whatever form. Like he was just kind of, I thought he can weather it, and I think a divorce threw him for a loop, which kind of I got that. Why by the end he was kind of like acting almost like extra, like he was, I mean, okay, like when she poured her heart out, like I felt like, but again, he's going through his own things. Like, how do I trust her? And I get that. Because, I mean, I think he never thought she would ask for a divorce. And he did. She did. I did wish that he was already dating the girl, though. Or sort of, instead of like
Yeah.
having their first time during in the span of the book, is kind of like, it's like,
Little like yucky, right? It's a little yucky. Little
yeah.
icky.
I know it kind of implied that he's slept with other girls because he's like, oh, I've always been careful. I think he mentioned that, like, not just her. I
Did
feel
he
like
before
I
No,
this
I
feel
don't
like he
think
book?
so.
has.
No.
I don't think so.
Really?
No, no,
No.
no,
Because then
no,
that would
no,
make
no,
you
no,
not
no,
like
no,
him
No.
more.
no, no, no,
Really?
no, no, no. She was no, no. She didn't. No, he didn't.
No,
This was the first.
just
Just this.
Vashti. Yeah, just
Yeah,
Vashti. Yeah,
just
yeah.
Vashti. Yeah, that's
Are
it.
you
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure? It felt like it was
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
implied
yeah.
yeah.
that.
Don't worry,
No,
we
no,
all
no,
talk there
no.
at the same time. We're like, what? So,
I
so,
I
so
thought
these are
it
the
was
kind of things.
implied that he slept with
No,
other
but
people before.
no, but I
No,
think
no.
I think he just meant that the few times he slept with Vashti, that he's always been
Oh,
that he always
yeah.
used rubber.
I mean, I did
So
feel bad for her because I mean, again, if you see this too, like, I mean, it's almost like she's throwing herself at him. I did feel like I was like,
I
Vashti
know,
girl. I'm
right?
like, it's like get like, you know what I mean? Like, read the
Maybe,
room. It's
maybe she,
like,
Right?
no, but maybe she gets her own book. Maybe.
Oh, I don't.
oh,
Does
maybe.
she? I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
No.
you're right. I mean, her insecurity. I mean, she's such a tight, small character, but her insecurity is really coming off the book. Like, it's really,
Yeah.
you can feel it, right?
But I
So
mean, as a
yeah,
girl, if I felt an inkling that, oh my God, these two will get, I wouldn't even like, I would not even attempt at anything. I wouldn't start at all, right? Like,
right.
so that for me was odd. Um, oh, I loved Kasim, the son.
Oh
Kasim,
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
he was so cute. I felt like I love his character so much. Like, and I'm glad Yasmin had him just because the daughter, I felt like she was so extra, like the meanness. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of understood. I think at that age, I did get like, because I think so she was 14. So I guess by the time they did it, she was like 12, I guess, right? She just turned 14 in the book or something,
Yeah.
right? But she was
Yes, I
just
think so.
so
Yes.
extra. I mean, I think like you feel for her because the daughter was so extra. And I didn't like Josiah for kind of not stepping up more when it comes to the meanness. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's one thing. That's one thing I did notice. Like, I wish he kind of like, oh, don't talk about your mother. But I mean, she could have like stepped up more when she was like bashing the mom a
Like
bit
defended her.
more.
Like he should have
Yeah.
defended her. Yeah.
I mean, well, he did, right? But I think
No, not good
I wish.
enough.
He
Yeah.
didn't understand
Well,
maybe the how
yeah,
far, how bad it's gone. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, but the depression though, I mean, it was just like I think the writing was so great. Like you just kind of felt it. Like I mean I feel like none of us maybe have gone to that lowest point. But I mean, it so easily could happen, right? And I think that's the whole point, that even if you don't think you're that type of person to go through it, and I think for her, she's like, she was always the go-getter type. So I think it shocked both of them more that that's why I think Josiah never took it seriously, because she was like never he always saw her as a strong person, and for her to hit that level was probably shocking for both of them. Um but yeah, I don't have a lot of cons. I mean, I know it's hard when you like a book. I didn't really have a lot of negative things about it besides the ones I noticed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, the restaurant scene. I'm all about everything. There's anything that involves food. I'm all about it. So I'm kind of happy they own like a restaurant, like a Cajun restaurant, I guess. So I like that
Well,
setting
they
too. I
had
like.
recipes in the at the end, right?
Oh, they
Oh, did
did? I
they?
didn't look.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I didn't
Oh,
did.
see it either.
Yeah, yeah, they had
did
recipes.
they?
You know, you didn't see that?
No,
I
I
Yeah,
didn't
the
I
see
don't.
pound cake,
it.
the pound cake, and the sweet potato pancakes.
I
Yeah.
didn't go to the
Oh,
end.
I
Hello,
didn't
people.
either. I
Hello,
think there
people.
were there questions there too, but I didn't go. The moment I finished the book,
Yeah,
I just
I
finished
did. I
it.
read the I read it right to the bitter end, people.
Oh, let me try the
Oh,
recipes. Let me see what the
So
yeah.
recipes.
let me show you.
The
Yeah,
sweet
so
potato
there's the
pancake or
yeah,
something.
The pancake,
yeah,
yeah.
there's
Look at us
yeah.
I
as if,
want the
as if we're
lemon.
all gonna make it. It's like,
I'll make it.
well,
No,
No,
Lainey, you're the only one.
you
Lainey.
make it.
Lainey's the only one I know who actually.
I'll make it. Now
I
we have
might
an
just.
extra kitchen.
I
What?
might make the limoncello
Oh
one.
yeah, the
Yeah,
limoncello.
right.
So when Lisa was there, what are the recipes?
So there's the limoncello pound cake, the sweet potato pie pancakes, the my Aunt Evelyn's corn pudding, and Soledad's vinaigrette.
Oh,
The
that's
vinaigrette one,
it.
I might do the vinaigrette.
Yeah, yeah, it's there. Yeah,
That's the one
It
from
did.
the picnic or something, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It felt like Kennedy Ryan. I mean, I felt like did she go? I mean, I wouldn't know if I didn't really see if she actually went through this. I felt like it's just the portrayal is just so. It hits home, like
You know, either
Well,
she went through it or she knew someone
she
who
knows
went through it or
somebody. Yeah.
something.
or I think,
Yeah, or
and I think
she did
she
really
really
well
talked. Yeah,
research,
yeah, yeah.
you
And I think
know?
she consulted a lot of people. I think from the sound of it. Um, yeah. And funny enough, I know one of the girls, like the one of the Goodread friends. I think I even follow her on Instagram. She's one of those bloggers around that time, especially when Kennedy Ryan was just like really rising. And I know she's one of her Kennedy Ryan's beta reader. So
Mm.
yeah, so I think yeah, she did consult a lot of people from if I recall correctly. That's why it's handled very deftly, right? So anyways, Elaine, sorry, I didn't mean to
No, that's it. I think
cut
that's
you off.
it. That's it for me. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a good choice.
Mm. Yay.
Awesome. Well, I was gonna say enjoy. I don't know if enjoy is the right word because like I
I
guess
mean,
it
it
is
was a
enjoy,
good
right?
read. I
Because
mean, yeah,
yeah, it
it
was a
was a
good
happy
read, right?
ending. Yeah.
It was. I mean, of course, it's romance. I think that's one thing. Okay, I am not gonna say anything. I think for the most part, all three of you covered. I think how I feel, except maybe one or two that I feel a little differently, but not because like like so opposite, but I just like just slightly different. But where was I going with this? So, oh God, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, you're right. There's not a whole lot of part that I didn't like about this. I think maybe. if there's minor, like really like things that I point out, I think in the first 40%, I feel like some parts the nothing was happening. Um, it's one of those things that I'm kind of conflicted and said, why is this in this book? And then, but then you kept reading, and I liked it anyways at the end of it. But sometimes I'll be like, did it really have to be in that book? And then I'm like in my head, okay, yes, I guess it has to be. Um, and and I know none of you really are into angst, but I am into angst. But there were certain parts I'm like, come on, this is like how much more angst can you inject into this, right? It was just so emo, I think. And there's like certain parts I think that the prose just got really purple in my head. I was like, really, come on, but like very very little part, not enough to take away the enjoyment. Because like I said, I love second chance romance. I love angst and everything. And I think this is the perfect example, I think, for me, when it hits it right. There are few writers that I trust to read my angsty read. I guess Kennedy Ryan will be one of them from now on. And I'm actually not surprised because I think, like I said, I have good read friends that really enjoyed her book. So I knew um, I knew it would just be a matter of how much I will enjoy it. So I think I'm glad. I think for the most part, I think we all feel the same way. Um, I'm the same. I liked all the characters, the girlfriends. Interestingly enough, even Day. I mean, she challenged. I'm not a mother, but I found her challenging at those times. Like, when she was really disrespectful to Yas and like really pushing Yas's button. Um, but I also have friends who have daughters who went through that stage, like mothers who went through that stage with their daughters, right? Because I think all four of us in the room were fortunate enough that we didn't get into that rebellious stage the way she did, I think. But it just felt so natural that even though like Day was being such a brat, I was like, Yas, getting so frustrated. And in my head, actually, I thought Yas was being too going too easy on Day, right? Because I'll be like, that was my daughter. But I think I think like you've already acknowledged, it made sense at the end given what she went through. That was her way of dealing with her own grief, I think, right? Um I also like Kasim. He is so adorable. Like I mean, he's such a nerd, but he's such a confident nerd. So he was like so cute, right? And I know I guess Lainey likes I happen to like Josiah. I don't know. Is it maybe it's because I have this picture in my head? I just forgave everything he did, everything he said, right? even even when he was I think like you pointed out, Lisa, I was like, why are you not defending your ex-wife or the mother, right? Like, yes, in front of your daughter. And in my
Yeah.
head too, I was like, come on. But then I somehow also forgave him in my head because he didn't really fully understand, right? I think what was happening. I actually like the I like I love the connection between them. It was really, for me, it was really jumping off the pages, right? How the attraction to each other, and
Mm.
not just the, at every level, the physical, and I think the emotional connection, like after being married that long, and then even after they were divorced, right? So the fact that they had those connections, um, and so I think which made their intimate moments really, I think in my head it's like, woo, like that was I thought that they were really hot, right? Considering like these are previously married couple. And I think the way Kennedy Ryan handles it, because I think something that's sometimes that's the part that gets hard to handle sometimes when couple have a previous relationship. How are they gonna move the intimate scenes forward? But I think the way Kennedy Ryan did it, the way that they acknowledge that yes, they've been together in the past, but they're also not the same people anymore, right?
Mm.
The
Mhm.
tragedy and then the 2 years apart, they've almost like a new, in a way, they're kind of sort of a new person as well, to each other. That there's that new angle now that of kind of like relearning about each other, getting to know each other in a way, and then still having that bit of a foundation from the past. I don't know. Maybe I guess that's That's just me. I do like the dual point of view. I'm glad I actually got the dual point of view because I don't know if it was just Yasmin that we heard that they. I don't know if I will feel the same way about Josiah. So I think, but hearing his thoughts, like I said, like I forgave you, boy. Like whatever he did, I understood. I'm like, I'm
Well, I
okay.
mean, I
Yeah,
think there was reason for all the stuff he did.
he did. Yeah,
Like,
I that's in my head. That's what it was, right? And then I think, like I said, I like all the care. Even like you said, Lainey, even the therapist. Like, there was such a natural ease to the conversation. And I think you said it, Emmy. It's like watching a movie in words, right? Because you imagine people talking that way. And I also like how Kennedy didn't whitewash the characters because they really talk about like really specific to the African American culture or their
Mm-hmm.
food and their even the way they feel about their hair, right? It was such a big part of their identity. I really like having a glimpse into that. I mean, not that it's not new information, but to actually for them to talk about it in the book, I like it. Um, and I think like most of us here, and you all three of you have acknowledged already how the I think we're fortunate enough that none of these experiences have happened to us firsthand, like dealing with the death of a baby, dealing with the depression. Um, but but I think that the thing about the grief was so I agree, it felt so real that I also did get emotional in some parts. Um, Surprisingly, I didn't cry until the end when Yasmin finally really laid her heart out to
Mm.
Josiah. There was one line there. Oh my God, see, just thinking about the line is also getting me teary eyed.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I think because it really I think shows like I think Yasmin's regret, like in the about how the whole relationship went down um when she when she just really said when she told Josiah that I know I cannot unbreak your heart and I cannot unbreak my heart, right? So that's the weight that she's gonna carry. She knows that that's the weight she's gonna carry with her, like a long time, right? So that part, I don't know that specifically that part got me. You're there. I mean, even the funny enough, even the things about the death, the grief, like you talked about earlier, Emmy, about about the death of our dad, because like I totally understood what those words mean. And then when Josiah finally opened up how he found Aunt Bird, like in the kitchen, how
Oh yeah.
everything is in Technicolor or everything just really vivid. Because I also remember when our dad passed away, like that that you get frozen in that moment, right? You get frozen in that moment, and it just sticks with you forever. Like you cannot unsee it, right? So and and the other issues around depression, we all know folks who are dealing with it, and I think uh, the way it impacts people, I think like Yasmin said, the you're lucky. The best case scenario is that your decision is not fatal, right? That you're able to actually go in the direction to where you can move forward rather than you ending your life. And given what they went through, it's funny how because I think there is the clinical depression where I think really there's part of your physiology or like um your that's inherent or that's I think that's genetic, but I think there are those depression that are brought on by trauma.
Mm-hmm.
um and I think those are equally like hard to come out of, right? Like I think of our aunt who went through that kind of trauma and she never got out of it. And at least like Yasmin got therapy, so she was able to get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some people are not as lucky.
yeah,
So
because she was even saying, I don't understand, like, I just don't know why I feel this. You know what I mean? Because there's a point, like, she was
Yeah.
waiting to get over it. Like she was literally just,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's not happening. And yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes that's
Yeah.
how it, like, there's no control. And all of a sudden, and she's again, there's also she just wake up. It just started getting better. Like that's, I think that's, it is like
I
that.
think
Like
it is. Yeah.
time, you don't know something will get something. All of a sudden, it starts feeling better again. So no, no, no.
I mean, for the lucky
Mhm.
ones, right? For the lucky ones, you're right.
Yeah,
You
for
do get that. You do wake up one day and you'll be like, okay, I think I can move forward now, right? But then there are
yeah.
the not
Mhm.
so
Then
lucky
other
ones,
ones,
right? So,
yeah.
yeah, right, yeah.
There was a movie
And
too. Sorry, just to interrupt, but there's a movie. I don't know if it's Goodwill Hunting when I think it was Robin Williams when his wife died and he was talking. Just you take, just
oh my,
breathing. You just breathe in and out.
yeah.
Take it day by
Oh my God,
day.
I
Yeah,
love that
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
That scene when
it
he was
was,
talking about his
yeah,
wife or
that
something like
scene.
that. I don't. I think that's
That,
me.
yes, yeah, it was
And
his wife
Robin
who I think,
Williams.
I know.
yeah, and then
So
Robin Williams
From
himself,
depression too. Like
right?
personally,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But Um, and I think you're right. So overall, I think you're right. This book is very character driven. It's not like it really is about the characters growing and
Mhm.
finding their way back to each other. So I guess all that to say, if you cannot tell yet, I really enjoyed this book.
Oh, you did? You
Oh,
did?
you know what? That's the first the four of us. Well, other than the Alien book, I think that's the first time the four of us
Yes.
enjoyed a book, right?
Agreed.
All
Yeah.
at the same time. Yeah, all agreed, right?
And the Lucy Lennox one. We have one Lucy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
remember?
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's
yeah,
been
Oh
three
yeah,
books
the
then. Three
first one.
books,
yeah,
The
yes.
first one. Yeah,
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 the
yeah.
first
yeah.
Lindsay Lennox. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So you're right. Yeah. So anyways, so shall we? Okay, I'm gonna age myself, but I don't care. Like, shall we move on to who did we picture, like in the train, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I
Okay.
think we've established the fact that I think we all enjoyed the book. I mean, I guess we'll find out later how much we enjoyed the book depending on the rating. But I guess like for folks who don't know, like we always do this. Like after we talk about our book, we talk about who do we imagine playing the
The
characters in this
characters.
book. So, Emmy, you start.
All right. So mine maybe physically it's not as accurate, but for Yasmin, I pictured Soniqua Martin Green.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
she's
yeah.
probably a bit too skinny though, but I just love her so
Yeah.
much. So,
Yeah.
and then oh my God, Josiah, Reggae, Jean, Paige from
Oh God.
Bridgerton. That's why it was like when there were scenes that I didn't like Josiah, I was like, okay, Reggae, I'll just
Oh
picture you.
God.
I was like, so it made it bearable. Okay, gosh, so that's why in my head I was like, all right, here
Oh
we go.
God.
So I love
You're
Reggae.
so funny.
I am sorry to say this, but I have so many choices of Josiah in my head. I
Oh,
was like,
okay. All right, so that's who I pictured.
anyways,
Okay.
okay. So all right. So who's
Right.
that? Lisa,
Lisa.
did you picture anyone?
Nobody.
I know you
Me
never
neither.
Anyone?
you
No.
never have anyone though, right?
No,
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I actually don't either, but for some reason in this one
What?
I
Okay.
do. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Lainey, who did you
Okay,
picture?
so guys, I watch a lot of BET. So I mean, the people keep switching in my head sometimes. Okay, for the girl, okay, there's a comedy called The Blackening. I don't know, I didn't even know her name, but this girl, Antoinette Robinson, I thought she is Yasmin.
Can you bring it
Oh.
closer? I can't see.
Closer? Yeah, closer.
Yeah.
No, no, yeah, because the way my
Okay, okay.
Oh.
no,
Oh,
I
here,
can't see it. Can you shift more to yeah, perfect, perfect. No, yeah, right
there.
there. Oh my gosh, yeah, 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 yeah. What's
Yeah.
her name?
Yeah.
She had Antoinette Robinson. Okay, this is what she looked like in the movie and in the Blackening. I liked her for some reason.
Okay, okay. Yes.
But for the guy, for some reason, I kept thinking of Michael B. Jordan.
Oh my gosh, I knew it.
Oh, he's like hot. I'm like, I thought it was like
He
a
Yeah,
is
kid.
hot.
yeah.
He
I
is
did I
hot.
did picture him a bit too, but then because in my head he was like the villain from Black Panther, so I was like, no, no,
Uh,
I'll switch back to reggae.
No, I
yeah.
know. And then I'm like, oh, he's dark. Sometimes I picture the guy from Get Out. What's his name? I'm
Oh
telling you,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the guys kept switching. Okay,
I know.
I watch a lot of BET, so.
Well,
So the guys are like rotating. The actors sometimes, oh, he would play. Oh, that would be good. I'm like,
We
yeah.
don't get
So
BET anymore on Bell.
Oh, you don't? Oh,
No, no, I
boo.
know. Yeah, exactly. Same
Yeah.
here. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I can my the for Josiah too, it keeps switching in my head, but it always goes back to one
Is,
person. But
is it
this goes to
Idris?
Who?
show how no,
No,
It's
Idris.
different. Is it?
It is.
yeah. No, no, no.
God,
Okay, so
he's
what
too old.
no,
He's too
no,
old.
I know this is what it is. So then, if it's the younger generation, if there's ever a chance of it getting made into a movie, so yeah, Michael B. Jordan. But in my head, it kind of made it my generation. So I pictured the young Idris Elba
Idris.
or the young Blair Underwood.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so. Sorry, I ruined it for
Oh
you
my God.
guys.
Huh?
I know you.
Idris. I know Idris. Oh my
And Blair
God.
Underwood
Yeah.
too. The Blair Underwood makes so much sense, man.
I know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so in my head, when they say Josiah, oh Blair, it's like
Oh.
the young Blair, especially the 80s, 90s
Oh my God,
Blair.
LA
And I'm
Law,
like,
Oh
LA
God.
Law, right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh, like
yeah.
even the way he
Oh
talks,
God.
the way he walks. Yeah, I get it.
right.
I
And then
get it.
the way Kennedy described
Yeah,
him, the way he is in his
Like
like
the
the
swagger.
cashmere sweater,
yeah.
and then the suit when he had to go into this like when he had to speak in some kind of conference. I was like, oh
Blair,
Blair.
yeah, young Blair, Blair Underwood.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm
Oh
sorry, I
God.
So
ruined this. I
Oh
know
So it was
my
yeah,
God.
so it was mostly Idris and Blair, but Blair always wins out, especially after
Oh,
it's like we forgive you, Blair. It's okay.
Blair. But then later in life, he's become like the villain. Like he played a lot of
you.
villains
Oh
too. I
yeah.
think.
I
Like
know
now,
he
I feel like
does.
I like
I does, right?
he
But
does. Yeah.
I think in the early 2000 he was the 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 one of it's a Marvel offshoot that they turned into a TV series where there's Ming Na Wen is in it. Um
Oh.
and
Oh,
Ming
I think I
Na
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
right? And then Ming Na Wen is the like one of the main characters, and her ex is Blair Underwood, and I'm like,
That's a
Oh.
good pairing.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then for the woman, I mean the cover, I think I see her as a real person
Yeah.
in my head. So she was good enough, but and then and Blair,
Blair. Those are all cute. I know.
right? I was even thinking like what yeah the younger one is either Michael B. Jordan or Denzel Washington's son. What's his name?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah, yeah.
gosh.
Isaiah? No.
No, yeah, the one in oh my gosh, I love that movie too with Robert
Which
Pattinson.
one?
Yes, yes,
The
yes,
one with
yeah.
Robert Pattinson. Oh
So
my gosh, he was the
yeah,
main lead.
Which?
I even thought of Michael Ealy, but then no, Michael Ealy. I think he's
Oh, John
wait
David
there,
Washington.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, he could
yeah.
play it too.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked him in that movie. The Black Klansman. He's the guy, right?
Oh,
The
I
Black
haven't seen
Oh
that.
Klansman. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
I like
yes.
that movie.
He was actually good with that in that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Yep.
so yeah,
Nice.
and
Oh,
where what's next? Oh, the
ratings.
rate. Now we're gonna rate it,
Okay,
right?
yeah. Oh
So
yeah, good
All
timing.
right.
52.
I
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
We're good timing.
yeah.
All right.
All
Okay,
Okay.
right,
Emmy.
Emmy.
Okay, so
Emmy.
I did like it. So I'm between 4.5 and 4.75 right now. So yeah, it's a
Okay.
4 for
Oh.
sure, but
Oh.
I just don't know if it's leaning more on the 5 or the 4. So
Okay.
All right, that's
We'll find
good.
out on your Goodreads.
yeah,
I know, exactly. All right,
Okay,
Lisa, what do you give
Lisa.
this?
I really enjoyed it. 4.25.
Oh, yay!
Ooh. And then
So me,
lady?
this was a 5-star read for me. I really liked it.
Ooh.
I really liked it. I like the writing. Like I was gonna start the next one, but I wanted to be
Me
fresh, so I'm
too,
gonna
me too,
start.
me too.
Yes. So we'll start it tonight after this meeting.
Yes.
L.
Awesome. I I will give it. It would have been a 5-star read, but normally 5-star read for me would have been the ones that I would like pick up and reread
reread again.
anytime.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I
but
get
I
it.
think but because it's such a heavy read for me, I don't know if I can bring myself to reread this. So I give this a 4.5.
Oh, yes.
Yay!
Yeah.
So that was a good
So
one.
yeah, that was a good one, and I think I am so glad because I actually own a lot of her
Oh, good.
backlist.
Oh, yay.
It always scares me when I have some, because okay, I do this all the time to myself. Like I hear people that I trust, I think they love it, and then every time their book goes on sale, I pick it up, and then I start reading one, and then I end up not liking it, and then now I have 10 of like 10, 15 of their backlist, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with all that book? But luckily, Kennedy Riot, I have like now I'm looking forward to actually picking up her
Her
older
other
book, and
books.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So anyway, so on that note, I think it's Lainey's turn for our
Yay!
next
Liney.
episode.
Okay, guys, I thought long and hard. Did a lot of
Oh,
research.
no.
I feel like this will be a fun book for us to read. I've never read from this author.
Oh,
My
okay.
pick is called Ayesha at Last by Uzma Jalaluddin.
Oh, do we have that book,
What's the
Aisha.
Lainey?
title?
It's
Uh,
Ayesha
Ayesha at
at
last.
Can
Last.
you shift now to the other
Oh,
way?
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you.
Ayesha at Last by Uzma
please
Jalaluddin.
spell.
She's a Canadian author.
Ooh.
She's in Toronto, I believe,
Oh,
and they describe this book as a Muslim Pride and Prejudice.
Oh,
So
oh,
Ooh.
I love Jane
How do you spell the
Austen.
author's name?
It's in Libby, by the way. It's in the
okay.
library.
Well, Lisa,
oh,
just put in the
Ja,
title.
perfect.
Just put in the title.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it'll be easier.
ja, ja,
I want the author's
Jala,
name. I'm just kidding.
Jalaluddin. Uzma Jalaluddin.
I have heard of that. I didn't know she's Canadian. I've heard of
That's
this
so
book.
cool.
Yeah, she's from Toronto. She's
So
she's a teacher. So and apparently she writes for the Toronto Star. I was
It's
looking for either
oh,
romance.
Canadian,
It's
huh?
romance. Is it romance?
Yeah, I think they said Muslim Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, it's a romance. I'm assuming like a fiction, like a romance, like
Like romance as in
mm.
literary romance, like Pride and Prejudice, or more like the steamy. Do you know?
no. I think it's Muslim Pride and Prejudice. So I'm
I
Okay.
guess we'll
assuming,
find out.
Cool, cool,
yeah,
cool. Cool, cool, cool.
yeah. So it seemed interesting. I was looking for like different. I want to write something new. So like and Canadian. This is
Nice.
turn Aisha at
I,
last. All right, is that the end? I think we're done.
Oh
Oh,
my
this is good
gosh.
timing,
That is good
guys.
timing.
it is done. How about like so like no serious technical issue this time, and
No, because
yeah,
I'm
and
tethering to my phone. That's
and I think we didn't talk as
and
much over each
Wi-Fi.
other.
Well, it's a serious book that's hard to really like be rude about it. It's like
And we didn't talk much over each other, you're right. So I think because we all kind of felt the same way.
I know. Oh god. Okay.
Well, on
Well,
that note, I guess thank you all for tuning in to another episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you're still
yeah.
like made it to the end, thank you, and
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
good on you.
Like and subscribe. All
I,
47, 49. I don't know. It's like
49, I
we
think.
we win some, we lose some. What
Yeah,
else
it's
is
always
about
like
it?
that. It's always like that.
until
We're still
next
49.
time,
enjoying it.
folks.
We're enjoying it.
One
So
more and
thanks,
we
guys.
get to
Thanks for watching.
50, guys. Let's get to 50. Just
50.
one more.
Yeah, one
Yes.
more.
Before our 24th episode, which will make it 2 years we've been doing this.
Wow.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God, right?
Okay. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.